Hello, and welcome to Midweek Gaming, episode number 69. Back once again in the UK. We've also got VJ over the pond in America. But we are back, Midweek Gaming. It's Wednesday. And this week we've got Fabio from the Xbox Live Party podcast crew. How are you doing, mate? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Always great to be here. My second time in this show. It's been a long time for you to invite me.
It has. I'm terrible at inviting people.
But
Wow.
sadly you decided to invite the most boring member of the podcast. Right now, Ashley is making a live stream of a World War II game. But I'm glad to be here.
Is he?
Yeah,
he streams no end. He's done the Sonic stream the other day. He does no end of streaming.
They won't stop.
That's why they're growing. That's why their channel's growing. They deserve it.
It gets to the point where I start to consider that they don't have jobs at all.
Well, we'll have to say.
No, just kidding.
Oh no.
Couldn't resist.
But yeah, thanks for coming on. Have you been playing many games, or you've been watching all these showcases? Well, saying that showcase is just starting. It's going to get mental from tomorrow onwards. There's loads of showcases coming.
Well, I wasn't able to. Yeah, that's a funny part because for the PlayStation Showcase, I wasn't able to watch it live because out of the sudden my house just got a blackout. How beautiful is that? I just moved to a new home, and there we go. No lights, no internet for the fucking event, and I'm like, shit.
Oh,
Well,
no.
it happens, but so far, when it comes to games, I've been playing only NBA 2K22. Really fun, really enjoying, especially because we are having the NBA Finals. There's going to be the fourth round between the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics tonight, and might be really fun.
By that comment, I'll take it you're heavily into NBA then.
Not necessarily, not heavily, but I am quite a fan.
Fair enough. Do you like American football too?
Yes,
You do.
yes. American football, NBA.
At least you call it American football. You don't just call it soccer. Football. They just call it football. And I go, no, it's American football. It's a rugby ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's just because it's quite strange, like because like I am from Brazil and we don't have those sports here, but I just discovered that those sports, they are the type of thing that the more you learn about it, the more you end up liking it. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So, VJ, welcome back to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Hello. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Mr. Stubbs, and I'm looking forward to the show.
You doing well?
Yeah, very, very well, thank you.
Good,
and yourself?
Good. I'm okay, thanks. I'm okay.
Are we going live soon?
We are live, VJ. We are live.
Can't tell the difference.
Exactly. It sounds exactly like it does before we started.
Just wanted to say hi to Fabio. Welcome to the show.
Hi, VJ. Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
No worries at all, sir. Thank Mr. Stubbs, because he does all the invites.
Okay,
without even consulting the invites. That's why no one ever gets invited. It's mine. I'm terrible at inviting people. I tell people, don't be offended. Just remind me if you haven't been on in a while, because I'm bloody terrible at doing it. Because I'm the one that invites people.
Trust me, he forgets a lot of things. He forgets who, we send him stuff in the DMs. He forgets who the hell.
Yeah, there's like a topic about Project M today, the game thing. And then, I credited VJ for giving me. And then it turns out that RemovableSanity, further up the DM, actually shared it first.
Yeah, I think you're just cementing the point even further to Removable. That he has, in fact, been relegated.
Yeah, that's very much so.
Yeah. But yeah, so welcome.
Just because he doesn't like you, Removable.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
It's not true. It's just transparently truthful.
Not true. But thanks for coming back on VJ and RemovableSanity. Thanks for coming on and bringing your helicopter with you.
That's much appreciated. Yeah,
You in the private jet currently, or the helicopter? Private helicopter?
No, not at the moment. But yeah, it's nice to remember that I was going to be on today. You know, I did have to prompt you.
Yeah, actually, yes. When I was asking who was going on,
not only did you forget the topic I gave you, you forgot who the hell I was even supposed to be on.
Yeah, I was tagging people, and I always fuck it up. I do. Yeah.
It is. It's just.
I got this weird thing where when I'm referring
You just
to
take
removable sanity and animated evil, I often get the names mixed up too, as well. I do it quite often with animated. When I mean to say animated, I'll go removable or vice versa. I do it all the time.
Lucky, it's lucky I don't take things personally, isn't it?
It is lucky. Yeah, it is.
But no, it's obviously great to be back on here and hear some topics. It's also great to have Fabio on. So looking forward to what knowledge he's going to bring to this panel, and I know it will be very good. So
what?
Hey, yes, knowledge. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I didn't say it was good knowledge. I just said knowledge.
Thanks. Thank God. I started to get worried for 1 second. I was, Jesus Christ, what am I supposed to say here?
No, I'm sure you will bring fantastic amounts of enthusiasm, knowledge, and a great opinion, regardless. Hey, if I don't beast you up, no one else is going to, so I'm going to do it.
And welcome to Tushi from Community Game Night, and a new thing me and Removal want him to do. Tushi talks. No, Tushi's Trucker talks, but he won't do them. He won't do them.
No, I keep trying to bribe him.
We have actually seen hints of this. He does little videos. And he talks to us throughout a day, and he talks about gaming, etc. And it's content, but he won't release them on YouTube. They'd blow up. I'm telling you. You talking about gaming from your truck? You do well.
Tushi Trucker Talks would absolutely bring in the views. Yep,
you'd surpass my channel easy. I'm telling you, you really would.
I would consider doing a one-to-one, just talking with people, general.
You should do something like that. You should try it.
You just make a video talking about video games with with the truck engine as a background sound.
That's just boring.
Thanks for coming on, Mr. Tushi.
No one's going to listen to just the engine.
You'd be surprised on YouTube. Someone will probably find it. You know, like you get these fall asleep videos. Someone could probably fall asleep to a lot.
Yeah, SMR jobs. Yeah, it'll be.
But yeah, thanks for coming back on, Mr. Tushi.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on again.
So, I'm going to start with this won't last long, but this one here. Did anyone see the amazing world exclusive IGN first gameplay of an incredible game called Sonic Frontiers? Fabio, did you watch this masterpiece?
Yes, I did watch it. Sonic Wastelands, you mean, right?
Yes, I do.
Holy crap! Like, I mean, like, it looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong; it just looks beautiful. But is there anything to do in it? Can I do something?
No. Yeah, it's
like a massive open world where you can run endlessly and do nothing else. Like, just. And even the collectibles were just so off during that gameplay. I don't know what happened, but I think it is a nice idea, especially because Sonic is back. But again,
do you think a delay is needed? Because I would say so.
Depends. When is this game supposed to come out?
Sometime this year.
Jesus Christ! Please delay this game. Just delay this.
Yeah, I believe it's sometime. I haven't got the exact date, but I believe it is sometime this year. Because I think Ash was talking about it from your Xbox Live Party podcast too, and he was. Yeah, it looks like a tech demo. Yeah, that ain't finished. A bad one. You know, the water looks nice off the mountains though. Don't look too bad.
No, the graphics look beautiful. The environments they look nice. It has a really giant map, but the problem is that it doesn't have anything for you to do in it.
I think if you were to buy that or anyone, I think that would get pretty old pretty quick. That would
Yeah.
you get bored pretty quick. You would.
Yeah, like it reminds me of a little bit of how Sea of Thieves was released. Don't get me wrong, I love Sea of Thieves and I did enjoy my time with it when it got released and I bought it day one, but like
It took some-
fucking hell, it had an empty world and this game does have an empty world just like it.
They've improved on it though. Sea of Thieves is kind of the gold standard in multiplayer gaming now, but it wasn't. It took them a long time to get there, but they finally got there.
Yes.
They have. But yeah, so you're not a fan. You're not a day one. You're not a. I'm going to buy the £100 version. No. So not tempting you.
Of this game? No.
No?
I think
No,
I think I'll wait a little bit, see how it goes.
Fair
Like
enough.
I mean, especially the music. Like the same music was almost making me
Yeah,
sleep.
but when you think of games like Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, how beautiful the soundtracks were, you listen to that, you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah,
Not
because
very inspiring.
because you have different soundtracks in that game. Like you have so many types of. Oh my
Yeah.
god, this one was just the same old thing, relaxing music with talking about a big valley, and it gets to the point where you are about to sleep and like Jesus Christ. Imagine me, especially that I am sick right now and like I'm watching this. Imagine how that went. It was
Yeah,
just
well, yeah, exactly. That's true.
Jesus Christ.
That is. But yeah, you're not sold on it. I don't blame you. I don't normally like to slag games off. I don't normally do it that way, but damn. What are they thinking, Sega? But yeah.
When's it getting launched?
I'll tell you
launching?
what, I will look it up.
This year, it seems to be this year. Like
I'll look at Sonic Frontiers. Let's have a look. Sonic Frontiers. I'm going to look on the Steam and see if it tells me on the. It just says holiday 2022, so this year sometime.
beautiful.
So
Yeah.
maybe they've done that so if they needed to delay it, they could. Based off all the feedback, I would be calling for that delay.
Any chances of them saying this is an old build?
Why would you give IGN an old build for IGN first gameplay? That'd be a
The
bit
same
strange,
way,
wouldn't it?
the same
Yeah.
way as we had that demo in Battlefield 2042 and it was released the way it was.
Well, I hate to side with. There's rumours that they're basically canned 2042. They're moving on. So whether that's right or not,
Of course they are moving on. Like, why
we'll have
wouldn't
to
they?
see if that's true anyway. But yeah, thanks for your thoughts on that. VJ, did you check out this masterpiece of Sonic Frontiers?
We have to apologize. I haven't actually seen the trailer, so perhaps Mr. Tushi or Removable Sanity can add their insights instead.
Okay, that
It's
was
gone
good.
quiet.
Yeah, that
Sorry
was a
about that.
quick update.
Sorry about that. My son came in the room. He did.
Was it
You
Sonic
not-
or your
Didn't
son?
bugger off.
My son, so you've not tracked the trailer out.
Sorry. I
So
beg your
you've not
pardon?
you've not tracked the Sonic Frontiers trailer out then?
No, I haven't. It was, to be honest with you, it was due to popular demand, so I didn't watch it.
I wouldn't. Well, you've really saved. You've really, yeah. You've
Thanks,
done a good
Fabio. You're
thing.
the only one that got my joke there. Thank you.
You've done a good thing there, VJ. Not watching it because you've
Wow.
saved some minutes there of your life. There you have. Shout out to Doom Reaper, Lazy Foo, Tushi in chat, VJ in chat, and Back from the Dead, who is always first in chat. First comment. He's done it again. Well done. But who else? Now, I know Tushi's going to want this day one. And I bet you he hasn't watched the trailer. either.
I have seen the trailer.
Oh, you have seen the trailer. Gameplay trailer, I meant, sorry.
Enlighten me, Mr. Tushi.
I'm glad that there's another third person, not third person, but a 3D Sonic game coming, because they've done a lot of the 2Ds, and I think they're a bit drying out a bit for Sonic, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So they've done the Mania, they've done Sonic 4, is it episode 1 and then episode 2. There's 3 and 4. They've done quite a few, didn't they, overall?
Yeah.
They've milked it.
But my kids absolutely love the 3D Sonic games.
Do they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, even the other day, a few weeks ago, I had a notification on my phone saying, "Thank you for your purchase of Sonic." What was it? One of them that somebody brought.
So have you got it? Have you linked them up to your card and saying whatever games you want, buy?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. You're a nice dad. That's cool.
Can you adopt me, Mr. Tushi?
Or at least financially, can you adopt him?
I'll tell you what, I'll just game share with you.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Yep.
Your backlog, you'd die with his backlog.
Actually,
He's got too many games.
it's actually, I think I do buy a lot of games that Mr. Tushi doesn't play, so that actually might work out.
They're actually usually quite good. They usually ask. This Sonic one they didn't ask, but it was only like a $5, so if it was like a 60-quid game, they'd ask first. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's
But they used to years ago. They used to be terrible. I'd get like loads of notifications where they're buying DLC from Minecraft and.
Well, you're lucky they're not buying that Fortnite money, and you've got £150 purchase, £99 purchase.
No.
You know what I mean?
$8,000.
£8,000.
I just want to say that. Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Tushi.
So go on, carry on.
No, please. Sorry to interrupt.
I was just going to say they know if they take the piss, that it would be the privilege would be taken away. If you know what I mean.
That's fair enough. You only have to
But
ask, don't you?
they're usually quite good. Yeah.
Are you talking about Sega's ability to make Sonic games in the future, or your kids buying for games further down the line?
Kids buying games further down the line.
Both.
But anyway, back on Sonic, I'm happy to see another 3D Sonic game. I'll definitely check it out. Probably not day one, but because I'm playing way too many games at the moment. So
That's fair enough. That is.
Speaking of one I'm playing at the moment, there's one that Stubbs recommended me ages ago, and I finally got round to it, and that's that Raji.
Oh,
Raj.
Raji, yeah. Raj.
I haven't pronounced it Raj.
It is good, but I haven't completed it.
You're
not shocked,
got that. Oh, come on. That's so highly unusual for you not to complete a game. Jesus.
I know. I've thousands.
I think it is pronounced Raji.
Yeah, I think it is Raji.
Yeah.
It's Raji, so.
I thought it was Raj, so I thought it was Raj.
But just to wait and see what happens when they bring more trailers out.
Exactly. And Removable Sanity. The man who already has this game pre-ordered.
100%. As a true Sonic fan, you know, it's watching Sonic popping, as I like to call it. It was a unique experience. You know, there was a lot of popping. There was a lot of clips, and it did seem quite bare in terms of what you could do. But I'm wondering is whether or not this is just a tech demo, whether it was just showcasing off some of the aspects, because there was no enemies in that showcase. It just showed you some very, very basic puzzles and some 3D, movement, which is nice. Don't get it wrong, it's nice, but there's got to be something more to it than what that is. As I am a Sonic fan, my kids are a Sonic fan. It's they're going to have to put something else, or at least have to show something else. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is a teaser, a first gameplay teaser, and it'll more drops down the line will weather my fears a little, I should say.
I was going to say, sorry, Removable. I just had a quick look, and forgive me if I'm wrong. I was concerned that it was being made out of Hasbro. It is the Sonic team, but just having a brief, and obviously this is just a very brief look at it, but it looks like Sonic's mash up with Death Stranding.
It does look like someone's taken the Sonic character and then dropped him in. Yes, basically dropped him in the Death Stranding world, and then quickly ported in some rails for him to grind on.
Don't give Tushi ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
I don't know I don't really know what to make of it. It's I'm going to hold judgment until I see more gameplay. What I did see, I'm going to put down as a tech demo, something to showcase what they're moving forwards with. Because if that is close to the end product, it isn't going to do very well.
I think it was just an open map. They're just an open world.
Yeah, because there was no enemy AIs there. It was no enemy AIs there. There was a hell of a lot of popping, and that was the one thing I was surprised
Doom Reapers just said there's a combat video. I'll have to watch that then as well, but I've not got great hopes then for that either. Really.
That trailer actually has a nostalgic factor, not because it's Sony, but because it reminds us of Sonic 06. Such a great game, right? Like, for fuck's
I thought it was more close to Sonic Races.
Oh my god! Okay.
But I do understand the comment of Sonic Death Stranding. It does, especially some of the scenery.
It does, doesn't it? It does look like they've just based it. Do you know what it is? It looks like a mod of Death Stranding. And maybe, which is not a good look. I want Sonic to evolve. The trouble is, I've always wondered how in all Sonic 3D games, getting the feel of Sonic in a 3D perspective is exceptionally hard. One of the reasons Sonic was loved so much because it was a very quick game, very pinpoint accuracy game. In 3D, that is bloody hard to do. To keep that speed, that momentum. I mean, like the very first green zone, you can complete the level in under 30 seconds if you knew where to keep your speed up, knew where to do your precision bounces and jumps. I don't know how you do that in a 3D aspect.
I have to stop you there for a second. First of all, after looking at the trailer again, the aesthetics, I know it's not going to go down well, but the aesthetics just look so similar to Halo Infinite. And secondly is that if you've played Mario Galaxy, if you've played what was the last one? Mario Odyssey, some of the stuff that you're mentioning in terms of capturing the essence of the original Sonic games in terms of speed, precision, and flowing through environments and so on and so forth, and those games and Mario Galaxy especially capture it perfectly. And I
would say Mario Galaxy, it wasn't as fast enough, though.
Oh, I don't know.
I would say Sonic is always on the top. Do you know what it is? Sonic always to me was like the Wipeout. You were always on the edge of losing. You lose one wrong mistake and you would lose it all. And it's the same thing with with some of the games. You could slow down and then get you. But yeah, it was one of those Sonic Elden Ring. God, that's going to go down blooming well, isn't it? But I found for me, the speed was always about fast speed, intuitive combat, intuitive. It was like bam, 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 moving on to the next, and it's hard to pull that off. But at this stage, it just looks like it's more. It looks like it's Sonic, as you said. It's Sonic Breath of the Wild without any enemies in it.
Yeah,
which is okay, I guess, but I don't know. I'm holding slight judgment. I'm hoping it will be better than what it is.
No, I don't think you need to. I mean, you're only expressing what you're seeing based on what you're observing.
Exactly.
Right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're saying, because I think feedback is quite important. I've had another look and the comments and everyone's saying, "Is this it?" So you got to sometimes take on board the wisdom of the crowd, right?
Well, let's face it. Look at the original Sonic film. If the fans didn't speak up, Ugly Sonic would have been the main protagonist of that film. And no one knows what Ugly Sonic is it?
Doesn't. I'll just watch the trailer again, and I think it looks good. Looks promising.
I'm holding fire
now.
You watching a different trailer?
I don't know what trailer he's watching. Maybe
he's probably watching a different game.
Maybe stick it in the chat, Mr. Tushi.
Maybe you're watching the trailer of Sonic Mania.
Yeah, maybe he's watching.
No,
this
it's
Probably
Sonic
watching his,
Frontiers
he's probably
preview.
watching his favourite game, God of War. Too. She loves God of War.
So fuck off.
I will say, it's a friendly pest. Ugly Sonic actually is in a new film. It's a clip on YouTube.
The
Yeah.
Chip and Dale movie.
And it is, people are calling for Ugly Sonic to be made into a film because they absolutely love the humor the Ugly Sonic character is being portrayed as.
Oh my goodness.
It may actually spawn off a ugly Sonic film.
Ugly Sonic is going to be the equivalent of Fake Crash.
Yes, yeah, exactly that. So there you go. Too good to quit. Yes. But that's it for me.
Yeah,
Come on, Stubbs. Get on the
Come
ball.
on, Stubbs.
On the ball, mate.
yeah.
Please.
A little true story regarding Sonic. My son's absolutely obsessed with Sonic, my oldest, what he was. And when it was on Sports Day, when he was doing the 100-meter run, he was running with his hands behind him like Sonic runs. I think I've not said this story before, but he was just couldn't get no speed because he's trying to run like Sonic, thinking he's like the fastest in the world. I mean,
Bless
you
his
know,
heart,
slow speed, and you're just having your arms hanging behind you.
Yeah, my son's into Sonic at the moment. Trust me, it's like it's good because I see the next generation do it. But
There's no difference of kids running around with one arm up in the air and with their jacket tied around their neck and thinking that they can fly because they watched Superman during the 70s.
Yeah, I had a friend jump out the window once in his house from upstairs. After what was watching Superman, he just jumped out the window and broke his arm.
Bloody hell.
Mr.
Beautiful.
Tushi, what kind of company do you keep? Or is it just something in the water or in and around where you live?
I can't really moan because I almost jumped
Just
out the window as a
water.
child after watching Spider-Man. So yeah. Apparently, my mum grabbed me before I legged it out the window.
No worries. Just let the children break his ribs and arms and legs. He's just making.
We
he's
did
just
in those
pretending to
days.
be-
Yeah, it's literally got kicked out. That's it. Come back. You come back with a broken arm. Oh,
It's
right.
it's
Okay.
It's a kids game.
Yeah. It's going to be. We're intrigued to see what comes of it. That's definite.
I hope a delay comes. That's what I hope. That's what I hope.
Who
Well-
knows? Who knows?
well-
It could be, for all we know, a combination of Sonic and Gears. You never know what's going to happen.
No. Sonic's way more interesting. Removable. Come on.
No, Sonic pulls that answer.
Okay.
There is no
sure.
way Marcus Phoenix moves like Sonic. Not
Oh, he's
anywhere.
much more, definitely slower. Yeah, 100% slower. Sonic doesn't use a shotgun either. He's a bit more tactical.
Shotgun's the best way.
It's the only way to survive in multiplayer. So yeah.
He knows how to get on well in this show. Mentioning the shotgun, you see, he knows.
Yep.
a friendly pest. Thanks for popping in. Yes, the next topic will be about PlayStation's recent state of play.
Okay, bye.
So obviously, hang on. What was? There we go. So, what were people's highlights, and did you like the format in general? I'll ask Fabio first. Did you manage to watch it?
Not live, but I did watch after it. And as a true Xbox fan, I cannot say any good things about PlayStation because that's the way you do it. I don't know this. Like I did enjoy. I did enjoy the way the show went, but I gotta be honest, I couldn't say that like, oh my god, this is amazing or this is a fantastic show. Like I would say in my opinion, to my personal opinion and my personal taste, it was a good show. But considering everything that they showed and considering all the kinds of players and all the niches that they decided to make games for, it was a great show because it has a lot of options. And my highlights of that were Resident Evil 4, of course, Street Fighter 6, facts, and
Yes.
I was quite surprised, but I actually really enjoyed what I saw from that VR game from Horizon. Horizon
Yes.
Call of the Mountain. That was amazing.
It did look good because obviously the one slant people have got on that, oh, it looked a bit grainy, but what they've got to understand, it's in VR.
No, like,
It's, it's,
and the funny thing is that I don't care about VR. I respect those who like it. I respect those who have it. I respect those who have fun with it. But I don't. I don't give a crap for VR, and that's not something that I usually am interested for when I watch an event. But this gameplay, man, that was really good.
Yeah, I have to agree with Fabio. I'm not a big VR fan. Well, I'm not interested actually, but Half-Life Alex and because I'm not even a fan of Horizon, to be honest with you, quite honest. Just Half-Life Alex was the first game that I saw that was, yeah, it's like, if I ever get the opportunity to try it, I will, but I'm not going to
Yeah,
go out and
for
buy.
sure.
I'm not going to go out and buy up and take up space in my home for a whole setup. Sorry, Fabio, please continue.
No. Actually, that was it for me about this event. That was it. I think it was a good show, but when it comes to, but that's just my personal taste. Considering everything that they showed and all the target audience that they got the interest in for of players that enjoy VR, of players that enjoy Japanese games, of players that enjoy PlayStation type of games, of players that enjoy fighting games. That was a really great show.
it
But
was a,
to me
was a good.
personally, it was just a good show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. What did you think about Stray from Annapurna? Annapurna. I'm saying it wrong. Isn't it?
Which one is Stray? I'm sorry, I
Where
did
you,
forget.
where you
Cat.
play as a cat, VJ's
Ah,
hiding.
Yeah.
the one
Kitty
with the
cat.
cat.
Yeah.
Great physics. Great physics. I was quite interested in that.
That
But
one, and that answers another thing. That is the first of. Sorry, that will be, even though that will be a day and date game for PlayStation Plus Extra and
yeah,
and Premium. I know it's not your top AAA, but I think that'd be a good game. I do.
It's
no,
definitely
no.
intriguing.
You don't necessarily have to put a AAA game in your subscription service to make it interesting.
Oh no,
But I,
It's
I but
variety.
I think that Sony lost an opportunity to share more, like not share more, to just announce more games that are coming to the service, make it more interesting, because if they want to compete in
I think
that
that.
type of area, I think they need to try to, okay, we are not going to show you just Stray that is going to be available
Oh, there will be
in
more.
our service.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
said. So what they're doing is what you got to understand is this is what a lot of people. I'm not naming any names, but this is the thing.
Talking
PlayStation.
about you, Removable.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, Gary.
I've heard other stuff. Right. Sony's obviously Japanese, so anything they do has to be, as VJ will probably tell you. So anything new, like dropping games in day and dating services,
Hmm.
they have to prove to the Japanese board directors how they do business very differently in Japan. It's a cultural difference, and they have to see evidence stuff's working. They won't just say, we're going to put this on day and date. They need to prove it. So, although people, for some reason, just because PlayStation's headquarters is now in America, I've heard loads of podcasts saying, well, are Sony now, and Sony an American company now? No, they're still Japanese. I've heard loads of shows say it, and I can't believe it. Just PlayStation's headquarters is in America, but they're still a Japanese company and still have to get approval from the Sony board of directors. That's their sticking block with this day and date business. It's that they have to prove it works on and it's growing. So they can't just do what Microsoft are doing, dumping big AAA games in the service. They have to prove it gradually. But one day they will get there where it's they drop their games day and date and probably day and date on PC. As evidently has been shown, Spider-Man's now coming to PC. But they're getting there. There's progress. It's slow progress, but they are getting there. They've just got to prove it works. You see, they have. Sorry about that. I'm just explaining. Then.
No. You don't have to be sorry at all. Like I did understand. I understand. It's all good, mate. But yeah, you did mention about Spider-Man coming to PC.
That's good.
No, that's amazing. Like in my opinion, this is something that is good for the company. Like there's a lot of people that likes to brag about saying that if your game that was supposed to be exclusive is coming to PC, then there's no point in you having the console. Like no one ever heard about a little thing called personal taste. For some reason when it comes to that. So if my games on Xbox are also coming to PC, I don't care. I am going to play them on Xbox. But on PC they look way better and have better frame rates. I don't give a crap.
Well,
I just want to play with a controller.
No, I think if you were a game in the 90s, right, you didn't have a choice. But now you've got a plethora of choices, and you've got the privilege as a gamer to, because of the amount of content that's available and the diversity in said content, you've actually got a privilege in is being able to refine your palette in terms of what you want, what you pick and choose, and the refinement in terms of your gaming catalog. I would say a privilege these days compared to the 80s and 90s and perhaps even the early 2000s. And I'm sure, well, I'm not sure, but perhaps Tushi and Removable might speak to that. I don't know. Cough will do.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know where this cough
cough it up.
I'll mute it next time.
It's the altitude. He's so high in his helicopter that like he can't breathe.
He's live. He's from his private helicopter currently. He's flying over somewhere.
I wish he was. Trust me, I would love to be in that. Yeah.
Let me look up on the sky here just to see. Okay, there's nothing.
Am I buzzing? Am I? I wish I was.
You're not
is it?
There is a helicopter outside my window.
Jesus.
They're trying to find you. So was it a question to myself or to Tushi? Because that was the question.
It was just an observation. I didn't know if you concurred or not. It wasn't like a major question. It was just like a fact. Not a fact, just an observation from my part. Back in the 90s, there was less choice. And you played an array of video games because the releases were few and far between. Today, there's so much content out there. You can refine your palette, your specific how can I say, your specific catalog, and it's a privilege, right? That you have.
Yes, it was very much a case of one or the other, and so also expendable funds was a little bit more limited back then as well. So it was, if you were going to be a Sony fan or a Nintendo fan, you would be a Nintendo fan and you would buy all the Nintendo stuff. If you had the privilege of buying, a Sega Mega Drive or Genesis in America, and owning Nintendo, you were deemed you had rich parents because, they weren't cheap systems back then. No. Same thing for, if you had a Game Boy or a Game Gear, again, more than one console or platform was very much unheard of. Personal PCs kind of kicked in then as well. So people were starting to experiment with personal PCs. So it was a very much a restrictive times where compared to today, unless you're poor like me, I know so many people now who have multiple systems. It's I've got this system, I've got that system, I game here, I game there, I game everywhere. Now with the cloud, it is freeing for everybody. So into VJ's thoughts of in terms of where a game ends up, I think the fact that if it can end up on any platform, it's only going to be beneficial to the developer, and also I think to the platform that it originally came from. One thing I did spot from the actual PlayStation, State of Play, was it was harder this year, I found, to determine which are solely PlayStation specific games versus multiplat. Some of them was like, oh, this is a PlayStation game, and then you find out actually no, it's a multiplat further down the line.
Yeah, I was talking about this fact with Centurion on plastic platforms and mention how they cut out the fact it's on other consoles, but then Mav popped in the chat and said actually Xbox also do that as well with multi-plat games.
They do,
cut them out
yes.
the trailer.
Yes,
So
yes.
it says it's
yes,
not exactly fair to slag off one without the other.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know they did that. The marketing deal ones, you know, the ones I've got marketing deals for.
It's because it's their own events, right? Like they are not going to necessarily show off a logo of their competitor.
Exactly.
Unless if it is Minecraft, because when Minecraft Dungeons was announced, there was all the platforms. It wasn't just saying Xbox and PC. It was showing off all the platforms that it was going to be available on.
Yeah,
that's true.
Just a couple of things I was going to say is that most of the Sony games are going to end up, being, on PC, and all Xbox first-party games are on PC, as far as I can tell. So I'm just hoping that this Sunday that they drop the word exclusive. It's archaic and misleading, and just.
Oh, they're going to keep doing it, VJ.
I know, but they love it.
But
for a seasoned gamer, it's just disingenuous now. Come on, and
yeah. I once made a video.
I know people talk about PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo Switch, and that's fine. But how can you say that PC isn't a gaming format? Because it is.
I think, to be honest with you, it's still got the slight archaic background and historical background of exclusive is a platform seller. Unfortunately, that's waning as time goes on. What is coming now, whether we like it or not, is the platform is what is on the platform, what you get on that platform service.
Yeah.
It's not, I think platform seller is becoming an archaic thing.
Yeah.
And whether we like it or not, I think that will go away. But as long as they can hold on to that, they will try and hold on to that.
Like I think it's a situation where it's not just about because we do have a ton of options now of what to buy and in which platform to buy. I think it because it is relatively cheaper in comparison with in the past, but I think it's a situation also about the market has changed. The market has evolved, and the companies, they need to adapt themselves so they can just hit the interest of their market. Like, for example, we do know that Xbox announced before a long time ago saying that our games are now going to be available day one, not just on Xbox but on PC. And all people that were stuck with the idea of but exclusives need to be only available on the console, they just started to say shit about the Microsoft and say that they are not going to give support to the Xbox. What's the point of having an Xbox then? And actually, this was the first step that Microsoft took to make all companies, not necessarily all companies, because Nintendo is not going to be doing that, but to the point of making even PlayStation realize that, holy shit, the future is not necessarily just saying this is exclusive to my platform, and because of that, I'm going to get a ton of console sales. The future is about saying that this game is exclusive to my ecosystem that will allow me to have more active users.
I think it's a financial aspect. Remember, there's money left on the table, as a phrase I've heard often enough.
For sure.
And if that's money
there's significant amounts they're tangible amounts now.
Yes, yeah. PC Spider-Man on PC will probably bring as much as what Spider-Man on console had dropped. I can guarantee you. That's just that alone. Yeah. So it's cash that's left on the table, which no company is going to.
You know what? Sorry, go ahead, Removal. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No.
I was just going to say, remember a couple of weeks ago we were chatting, and I said to you guys on the show, there wasn't any comments, but I said, I don't understand, like God of War 2018. What is the problem with Sony sticking it on Xbox for $60 a piece or $70 a piece or whatever they want to do, and just make it available?
Can I just say something on this? remember I tweeted out about a year ago.
So you just slap me down, why don't you? Yeah, cheers.
So I tweeted out about this years ago that I would love a situation where all games are available on every console. You just pick the console you want, support and what controller, etc., like that.
Yeah.
And what services you want each one. And the amount of hate I got, I even lost a load of followers as well.
I think, Mr. Tushi, you see, the reason why you got hate because you know these what you're saying is probably the goal that has to be achieved or should be achieved in a utopia perfect world, right? But I think what you can do is that you have to reprogram and condition people step by step. People don't like to be taken out of their comfort zone, shall we say. And so if they just took, little steps like Sony has done with the PC format. If you remember a couple of years ago, nothing's coming to PC, we're not interested in PC. And now look, step by step, some of the lower tier franchises like Days Gone, which I actually think is an amazing game, incredible game. And I just cannot understand, but anyway, but the point being, I'm not saying that it deserved a sequel. I just thought that it didn't deserve the response that it got, in the public sector, but it did okay on PC. And they started with those games, and they actually, as the years have gone by, Mr. Tushi, they've slowly but surely brought their first party games across to PC. And I'm not a PC gamer. I bought a PS5 because specifically when I look across at the catalog, I like playing different games, and there's at least 10 or 12 games now in the new service that I haven't played that I want to play. So I'm going to be signing up to it. But it's just because it's just the content that I want to consume. Like in our house, I mean, I guess in lots of people's homes, everyone's subscribed to Netflix, Amazon, and perhaps Disney or Hulu or whatever. You don't see people on Twitter, fanboying the fact and arguing the fact that one's on Twitter and one's on Amazon and who's best, do you? And I just don't know why that division and conflict exists in the console arena.
Speaking of games, back to the state of play, because no one's talking about the games of state of play. I was about to say is, who thought about No Man's Sky VR? Because that looked really good.
Yeah.
For me, that looked No Man's Sky VR. Also, the Callisto Protocol. I know it's multiplat, but that was a great trailer.
That looked very good. Yes.
And Eternites. I know, VJ, you probably would have been happy for that one. The Eternites was actually looked equally amazing. I must admit, those three games alone perked my interest. No, I don't know if they're multiplat. I think one's multiplat. I think obviously the Callisto project is multiplat. The No Man's Sky VR is obviously PlayStation, and Eternites I'm not 100% sure if that's multiplat, but those three games absolutely was really, really good. But I will say it was short. I was just like, is that it?
Actually, I've got
VR games are usually quite short.
I mean just like the whole state of play is like, is that it? 30 minutes? Really?
Actually, Mr. Remover, I had a couple of points on that, but I interrupted Mr. Tushi earlier. But you made some really good points there, Mr. Sanity, and I just feel bad because I cut off Mr. Tushi. So please continue.
I can't remember what I was even saying now.
No, you were talking about all games being on all consoles, and then you choose the console that you prefer, and the controller that you prefer, and the ecosystem you prefer, etc., etc.
That was it, really. It was just that's what I'd prefer. If or even if they had like a first party game would be exclusive for say 2 years or so, and then gets released on the opposite console.
Yeah.
That'd be better. Yeah. Because it just annoys me that I have to buy a second console just to play a couple of games that I play.
Yeah.
And then it just sits there for offline for ages.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
No, I'm with you because I've got this, and I will talk about the show in a second. But I have the same issue with the Nintendo Switch. I hardly switch it on. Well, sorry, no pun intended. But I'm desperate to play. After playing Octopath Traveler, I'm desperate to play Triangle Strategy. But I just can't bring myself to buy that one game for that system, and I'm just wished it was on either PlayStation or Xbox as well.
Yeah. That's kind of the idea that I had. That's kind of the feeling that I had when they announced Banjo-Kazooie was coming to Smash. Like I actually started to think about saying, maybe I should sell my kidney to buy a Nintendo Switch because this is really bloody expensive here in Brazil. So yeah.
I turned my Switch on the other day. I had 17 friend requests on there. And I hadn't turned it on since I think it was December. I think it said the last time I played it. But, I don't know. I just feel like I go on then. The games are freaking expensive, even some old games.
Yeah.
So nothing ever comes down. Even when you look online, you can't buy codes cheap or anything.
No.
They're always, even like Mario games, they're still like 50 quid, and I'll get my first second-hand, not second-hand, but a third-party seller.
Because they can. That's why, because they can.
Are they? Really?
I tell you, when the next Nintendo console comes out, if they don't carry the your games over, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, that's not happening, you know full well.
I know, I'm not going to bother again. It just annoys me every time a Nintendo console comes out.
That's annoying. Yeah. But
I know they want to just resell your games again and stuff. And
the problem is, though, the market's telling them that's fine. That's the problem. Welcome to Luke Steele, a Telegonic, Ham Solo Gaming. Thanks for popping in. But Nintendo do it purely because their data tells them they can. It works. It's terrible, but that's their data. Why change it if it's if it's working? It's annoying, fucking terrible. But if people are they could even sell fucking cardboard to them with Labo. You know what I mean? It's the kind of people you're talking about. They buy anything.
Was there any games at the State of Play that piqued your interest, Mr. Tushi?
Yeah, I was going to go through it when it's my turn to talk, but there was quite a few that I enjoyed. The main thing that pissed me off with the show that it wasn't long enough. It just
Amen.
Yeah, but I
was enjoying it. It's just I gave it a good. I think I gave it about a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed the show, but then it just felt like it just started. It just ended. It's just really short.
Treat them mean, keep them keen.
It's like phase one. It's like here's part one. I thought, okay, part two's going to start, and then it just basically restarted. I'm like, oh.
They don't do things like Xbox. They do short and sweet.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I was going to say. I think it's a difficult thing because over the last 2 years, I've watched shows, and after 20 minutes, I just want to turn off. And I think it's one to do with the content that they've got available from third party, and secondly is that it's never easy to pitch this. When I heard it was 30 minutes, I thought that's probably enough for third party. But like Mr. Tushi is saying, he'd love to have gone on more, and being annoyed about it, I think he's actually paying a backhanded compliment to Sony, if anything. And look, sorry, Mr. Tushi, carry on. I'll talk about the State of Play in a minute. You carry on.
That's right. Stray is going to be a day one buy on PC for me. I've been looking forward to the game. I love the stealthy, like you see where he's like hiding in the bushes away from the enemies and stuff. And
stealthy meow action.
Yeah.
Is it a he or a she? Are we certain on that?
Oh, that's not. We don't want to.
If it's in VR, you'd be able to find out.
Doesn't matter. Like it's just a cat.
Trust me, people want to know that question. They will.
There's a few. I did enjoy the look of what do you call it? Fucking hell, what's it called now with Aloy and fucking hell, my mind's gone.
Horizon Call of the Mountain.
Yes, that's the one. I like the look of that, but it looks like it's on rails. I think I don't know if it's actually like an open world game. It looks like it's set on rails for VR. That's the way I see it.
Now that you mentioned that, like when I watched the trailer of that game, I didn't have the impression. I thought it just looks amazing and it was going to be a great game for the system. But like, I didn't notice that. Yeah, looking back to it, it does kind of has the impression that it's on rails. Like, is it going to be an open world? Really?
But I'm interested in the VR because, like, me and Friendly Pest, we play VR together.
Just want a VR Sonic game. Just tell us. Just come on. Just
let
Actually, that would actually be really. Actually, that would be good. That would actually be a really good thing.
Luke's just popped into chat to say it's not on rails, but it's not an open world. Probably. Sadly, it's Bradley. No, I'm reading the wrong one there. It's like a linear single. It's like a linear single player VR game.
Fair enough.
It's not on rails, so I don't care. I don't like it. No, just kidding.
I have no idea what you lot meant with that comment. It's on rails. I don't get it.
On rails, it's like House of the Dead. You know, for example, like it just automatically walks for you.
Oh, okay.
Going around shooting along, yeah. That's like
no
a game
control
on
over the
rails.
camera, basically. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay, thanks.
Well, maybe a limited.
Welcome to Piron Pluck. Thanks for popping in. Over on Twitch. We are live on Twitch as well. Sorry, carry on.
So some of the horror games look good, but they're kind of not for me, if you know what I mean. And I don't enjoy the horror games as much as I used to. I fucking shit myself, especially like even Resident Evil 7 keep the shit out of me. I didn't like that.
Well, like not even Resident
turned it
Evil
off.
4. Like, here's the thing: Resident Evil 4 is such a good game because it has but in my opinion, it has a perfect balance of an action game and a horror game. Like, you don't get scared;
Yeah.
you just say, "Holy shit, what is that?"
Yeah, I've seen it on I've seen it on the Oculus Quest. It looks quite good. The game does, but I've never bit the bullet and bought it yet. I even bought that Saints and Sinners, the Walking Dead. Number 2 was shown on that show, which I'll probably end up picking up. But the first one is like an open world, not open. It is open world in a way. Just a zombie slaying. It's pretty brutal. And I'm looking forward to the second one. I can't remember anything else at the show now. It's like I forgot already.
You were telling me you didn't like the indie game, which was basically going around taking photographs and capturing sounds, and that was right near the end.
I don't know. I can't think now. My mind's gone blank.
I can't think now. That's it.
I didn't like the look of the that one on roller skates and stuff like that. That didn't interest me.
Yeah.
I like the art style.
It's nothing new. Let's be honest. Like, the art style has absolutely nothing new. We saw that art style in other games before.
Yeah.
But
That was actually Sable. I think was the game that's got a very similar art style to it.
yeah,
I think it's Sable. Is it Sable?
there's that other
I think it's
game.
Sable.
There's that other game which is a roguelike, where you are in a spacecraft. I don't
I vaguely know what it is, but I can't think of it. Yeah.
Something Bastards. I don't remember.
Yes, I know. Yes, yes, yeah. Yeah, it reminded me of. Yeah, I know what you're talking. I can't think of what it's called though.
Yeah, for you to see how important that game was. But
It was actually quite fun, actually, and it was actually on Game Pass for a short period.
Yes, sadly was for a short period.
Game Pass is fucking. I can't keep up with all the games coming in that service.
No one can, mate.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, I must admit, it's an AI Somnium game on Game Pass at the moment. It's a Japanese game. It's really fun. So yeah, it did a really good job of diversifying the actual games that are on there. Speaking of that, GJ, you were trying to say something, was it?
Me? I think I'm in an alignment with what people in the chat, Mr. Tushi, Fabio, and yourself. I think you've highlighted the main games. A lot of it, my comments, which are going to be subjective because my taste in gaming probably hasn't changed. I mean, I was really happy to see Resident Evil 4, which I've played countless times since it was released in the early 2000s, alongside Dragon Quest VIII. Street Fighter looked okay, but I don't know about you guys. But I'm
really?
No, it looked okay.
Very careful.
But I'll be honest with you. I'm still a fan of the Street Fighter Alpha visual design back on the PS1. I think it was.
Okay.
That's why I haven't. I thought Street Fighter 5 was interesting. I'm just not sold on the art style for this game. To be honest,
I didn't mind the art style. I don't know. It was
jarring for me. Removable. I'm just a big proponent of Street Fighter Alpha. I think it's still the best, by far for me. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's the interesting take. It's like semi-open world. The fact you're semi-open world, you can go around and get training, and you can obviously create a character.
No. Okay. You're talking about interactive environments and vignettes and all that sort of. That's all fantastic. I'm just talking specifically about the way that the character design etc.
Yeah, I know what you're
the
saying.
Animations flow and everything. I've no issues with the VFX, like you said, the interactive environments, and that's all. We all want that, right? In every game, right? As much as we possibly can. That's no issues.
No, see, this is a difference. See, that I think Mortal Kombat kind of got it well, where it actually has a story, and it tells you that story, and then and you go down and you meet certain characters throughout that story, and that's how the game progresses. Here, clearly, they've gone with a much more open world, choose your own path sort of Street Fighter. Now that can be good, and that can go really badly.
So that's from a narrative design perspective, and that I can't comment because I haven't played Mortal Kombat. But I will just say just that from a visual design, I just prefer Street Fighter Alpha from all those years ago. Stuck with me, and look, to be honest with you, I like the show as I think a lot of people did. I think I'm like Fabio to some degree, that it didn't knock me for a six or anything. It didn't wow me or anything, but I do like the way that Sony and Nintendo are going about sort of evolving and framing and structuring, the foundation of their shows and the branding of the presentation of their branding, right? And I just think Sony and Nintendo, and I've said this before, they just seem to be really focused on investing and sort of dialed into their digital events, which kind of speaks to what Mr. Stubbs was saying, that he's not too sure how successful E3 will be next year. I don't think that E3 as a venue or as an organization would have come out and said that they're going to be there without the support of several third-party publishers and perhaps one one platform holder at least. So we'll wait and see on that. But in terms of what they've done in the meantime, in terms of the digital presentations, I just think that they've spent a lot of money, a lot of investment. They've dialed in these digital events, and to a really high creative degree, if that's the way of putting it. And I think that I like the way that it's kind of aimed at people of all walks of life, ages, backgrounds, and depending on what civilization you're from, right? Either whether from European, American, or from the Orient. And and I just like the way that they both continue to sort of. And this is the stuff I look for, right? It's not always the content, because the content is subjective, right? As been quite clearly evident, right? Based on all the comments from everyone on the panel and people in the chat. I just like the way that they balance between showing us the content, the timing of the presentation, even though Mr. Tushi's annoyed that it was so short. I'm sure Jim will take note of that. And sort of then embellishing their shows with their ID and branding in a subtle way, right? So they're impacting your attention with content directly and subconsciously making you aware of and observing their branding, right? And I like it. I like it. I like it because I can say I can like it, but why do I like it? And it's no easy way to explain it, and it's no easy feat to achieve, right? In the sense that it's really subtle, simple, and creative, and that framework. Within that framework, regardless of the content, lies the true power of these events. And I'll tell you what, I might be sort of going off on tangent here, but I'll tell you what it's like. It's like a bit of, you might appreciate this, Removable, because you love manga, a blend of like how handmade the Studio Ghibli production and some of the manga stuff that is made, in terms of how they're handmade, and it works with, the high-tech sort of works of, in a combination with the high-tech works of Pixar almost, right? They both capture the essence of what they're trying to portray, but with a fragrance of grace almost. And that's what I appreciate about it. Again, it's not towards the content specifically, but I just really like the class that the presentations are achieving now, right? Because let's be honest, Nintendo and Sony, when they first started doing digital presentations, they did have their hiccups and ups and downs, and I just like the fact that they're going back to the drawing board, being honest with themselves, and just continually trying to improve, and that's all you can really ask for, right? Is progress, right? So, yeah, that's sort of my take on it. And I sorry, just one more thing, and I guess that is what I'm kind of looking at in terms of Xbox on Sunday, not just the content. Because again, some of the content, we're all going to like different games on there. We can't play all of them, even though Mr. Tushi will probably attempt to do so while he's driving around in his truck. But it'll be really interesting to see how Xbox have evolved and progressed, not just their content, because we want to see that, but in terms of how they go about sort of presenting, everything that they're planning to show across 90 minutes. There's some stuff I do hope they do, and there's some stuff I really hope they stop doing. But but I don't know entirely. So yeah,
we will see.
Yeah, so I hope that makes sense anyway. Okay,
Stubbs is asleep.
I'll just shut up then.
Sorry, I was
You
muted. I was muted on the mic and on the StreamYard. I was
So
trying to
was that bad?
talk.
Was
Of
that
course
bad?
you muted.
No, you had some excellent points, VJ. You definitely did. But I will say one thing to Tushi.
What?
It was advertised as 30 minutes. The show was.
I know it was.
No,
but
but Tushi's only saying you wanted more.
It was on.
Oh, exactly.
I just wanted more. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll.
I think that's
probably
the
get
that's
that in a
the
month's time.
yeah. I think that's if you think that's a take, that's a good take to this
There's a
state of
compliment.
play. It was that you were left
It's a
wanting
good
more.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's kind of a curse of digital events. Either it's going to be boring to the point where
Exactly.
you think this is taking way too long, or it's going to be so good that you're going to say this is really short.
Yeah, it's a really hard call to make, Fabio, isn't it? If you're sitting there trying to measure exactly the content to show, the timing of it, and how are the audience going to react, you're getting the feedback. It's a really hard call to make. And
let's face it, what would you prefer to have? Short and sweet that keeps the players wanting more?
Absolutely.
Clearly, that's going to be the one that you want.
Exactly. Is it like let's not? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you guys mind if I make you lose some sponsorships, maybe in the future? So like, we are not going to talk about like. It could be worse. We could be talking about a situation where Ubisoft does their events or EA does their events. Like, it's just so boring. Like, and it doesn't make any sense. If you are going to
Mini documentaries.
if you're going to show me documentaries instead of games, and you're going to make that take such a long time of the event, why are you doing an event?
I think, to be honest with you, that's just it's some people, and I do like hearing sometimes the developer tales and how they get to put things together. I just think that can be put aside to a separate element.
Yeah, I think like when you are talking about, don't get me wrong, hearing about the developers is always really interesting. Though after all, I do enjoy the Rare Replay game because it has the developers of the Rare games talking about how was the process of developing that specific game. But when you are doing that, and that is the main focus of your gaming events, which is supposed to be a substitute for your E3 conference, and you are not showing enough games and you are only showing that, there is a big problem. Like, don't get me wrong, you can make a video about that. You can make a video talking with the developers, talking about what they are experiencing, what they are facing, what's the situation of the game, as well as diversity and all that kind of stuff. But make it in a separate video, not during your gaming events.
Fabio, can I just say a couple of things on that? I think you're spot on.
Please.
I think you're spot on. I just wanted to talk about making. I don't know if you played the original God of Wars, but I really enjoyed those games, the first two, whereby you'd progress through the game and then you'd unlock development videos for the game. And and the other thing is that I think that both you and Removable are saying there's a time and a place for content, and there's like no clip documentaries. Some I watch, some I don't, but the one that's kind of stuck with me because I liked the game was Raising Kratos, and I watched it again, a few weeks back, and I was shocked to see that. I was shocked to. Sorry.
That's an excellent documentary.
Yeah, I was just shocked to see that it's had over. I think between the US and the European account, that it's had over 8 million views. So there is an audience for it. But I think I think you're both correct. The fact that there's a time and a place to when that content should be released and how it should be promoted, because there's 8 million people out there that want to consume it. So and it only helps to sort of explain the industry in more detail, so there's less confusion and there's less misinterpretation and less, what do you call it? I like to call it, there's a phrase for it. There's less yellow journalism. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that expression or that turn of phrase. It's just people sort of releasing information on Twitter, not really understanding game development or production or publishing it by any stretch of the imagination, and just used certain words to sort of sensationalize their own stories, right? And it's just and obviously represent themselves in a biased and an idiotic manner. But anyway, I'm kind of going off topic there, but yeah, just to your point, even on Sunday, I'm just looking for content. I'm not looking for Xbox to come out and try and sort of indoctrinate me into what they believe is the future promise of Xbox, right? Because they've been doing that for the last 10 or 15 years. Less waffle and more showcase, please. And
they are doing an extended showcase. They mentioned that, haven't
they?
Exactly.
So 90 minutes.
That was a given, though. They do it every year now.
Yeah, perhaps they do. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just really looking.
But not so close together, don't they? They kind of spread it out, or am I being a bit thick here? I thought they spread out the actual main showcase, and then they did like a developer's sort of assessment.
Last year, I thought the in-depth showcase, the in-depth one, was the next day. Last year, I'm pretty sure it was.
God, it shows how my brain's going.
I might be wrong, but I thought it was next day.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's only my personal opinion, and everyone's different, right? Everyone's got a different taste. So for me, I just don't want to hear from the Xbox executive team. It's been done over and over again. I'm tired of it. It's like sometimes it just seems to come across like patronizing, condescending, archaic, disparaging, and sort of disingenuous. Just show us the content, right? And then in the extended showcase, those that are interested in hearing from the execs or from the development teams, then
exactly. Because like imagine if during the events they showed up, the first thing that they showed was like the Rare logo, the Rare Studio logo, and then everyone is thinking either this is going to be a Sea of Thieves update, or this is going to be Everwild, or this is going to be a brand new Rare game.
Banjo.
And it's actually a video talking about how they developed Jetpack.
Xbox VR.
Like it doesn't make any sense. Like,
thing is, though, if it was any company that could afford to start the process of doing it, it's Microsoft. VR, they've got the funds.
I feel like they need to.
I'm just looking forward to a positive and a progressive contribution. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, definitely. I think
I'm not looking to compare with Nintendo or Sony because they're on their own track. I just want to see the Xbox story. I want to see progress from last year, and I want to see the positive contribution, the 23 studios or 30-odd teams that everyone keeps touting. Show me your contribution and show me you've made progress. It doesn't matter when the game's coming out. I just think that we just need to see progress. I
want to see what games they're going to drop day one because they do you can get it now.
Well, I want God of War at Game Pass, so I don't know if I'm going to get it.
You could get it.
Oh, damn. VJ's, I tell you what, VJ's reaching for the skies.
It's going to be Silksong anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it.
And then out of the sudden, during the Xbox conference, the Santa Monica Studios head studio guy just shows up and says, God of War is going to be available on Game.
God of War with Master Chief. Walk out.
I'd have to log off Twitter.
That's called Fortnite. We have a game like that. That's called Fortnite. So yeah,
that's the gaming utopia. I'm with Mr. Tushi. That's what I'd like to see. But
it's a simple solution, isn't it? You just buy the console and controller that you like. And the services they offer. But you can play any game anywhere. You know what I mean?
How dare you talk about? No worries, VJ. It's just a joke. Like, how dare you just talk about personal preference? I'm going to unfollow you right now, Mr. Fuck off.
Yeah, block me as well if you want.
Welcome to It's Timmy still in there. Thanks for popping in.
Timmy. No,
I'm not sure if he's still in, but yeah, welcome. But yeah, no, it's all exciting stuff. It is. It's tomorrow night. It's a Summer Games. Tomorrow night it's a Summer Games Fest. Even though Jeff Keighley seems to be trying to hype the crap about the show, nearly announcing every single bloody game that he's showing off, which I don't understand. I understand hype, but he's the amount of games he's saying this will be shown. Give people some surprises.
6. I want to see. I want to see Black Myth Wukong.
Yes,
that would be good to see. That would be.
Yes, yeah. I would really like to see how that comes off because the videos. I wouldn't say the videos. The development PR videos, because they were PR videos to try and get more people to try and work for them, were amazing. And if that does, I don't care what platform it is on. It looks great, and I want people to play it.
Game Pass.
If it goes to Game Pass, even better. But to be honest with you, I don't care what platform it is because it just looks amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you, Darren, over in Twitch chat. Still in. Thanks for still supporting and watching. But yes, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting week or so, isn't it? There's that many different shows popping up. There is.
It's gonna be a bit bare, isn't it? It's not many places to watch, is it? It's just it's gonna be pretty boring.
If you want to get all the indie game coverage you need, go to the Indie Gamers channel. He has about 6 shows lined up for you.
Well, he is missing one, but we have had a good confirmation as of today that the chat between him and VJ will be happening.
Oh,
so regarding Silksong, so yeah, so I managed to get that confirmed.
He's waiting for the game to drop.
That happens soon,
or
not being funny, but if that game drops, he'll drop his pants.
Yeah, because I keep suggesting that Team Cherry should come live on the Indie Games podcast and drop the news live on the air. And like Luke was like, I think Indie might collapse on his table or something if that happened. But no, who knows if that's coming out this year? I don't know. They're ready when they're ready. They are. But yeah, they. Obviously, I'm going to credit Removable Sanity for this, and VJ, because both of them have mentioned it to me. They have.
But who mentioned it first?
Removable did.
Then you're just being unfair to Removable. I told you he didn't like you.
So this is about.
He doesn't like you. He doesn't like
this
you.
Is a topic that I probably need help off VJ with. This is about NC Soft and the Project M. Is it a game, VJ? I watched the trailer. It's bloody stunning. But
Project M you're on about?
I did have some comments on it, but Removable Sanity sort of actually generated the topic, and then Fabio's our guest, so I think I should go at least third, if not fourth.
Well, first of all, I would say, yeah, Fabio, have you seen it?
The trailer, the clip. I don't know what it was like. Was it a game? Was it just a demo for an engine? What was that? Because it looks really good.
That's the thing I don't know. I think VJ might know.
It looks amazing.
I have a little bit to say on it.
Go, Tushi. Go.
To me, it looks like a very polished game of the gameplay, very identical to
Detroit
Become Human.
Yes.
Or Beyond Two Souls, stuff like that. I enjoy them games, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well,
it looks like it's done on
You should have noticed the the PlayStation prompts in the trailer.
Oh yeah, that's what made me think straight away. It was like Detroit Become Human. That's what it made me think of.
Yeah.
Maybe like I was actually thinking about like, if this is a game, is it going to be exclusive to PlayStation, or is it just because it's a Japanese game, or is it just because like it's a Japanese game by a Japanese company and PlayStation is way more
Korean,
popular?
Fabio, it's Korean. It's South Korean, and it's also
so sorry about that.
And I think I've read that it's coming to consoles. So yeah.
Yes.
I'm so
Unreal
sorry
5, isn't it?
Jesus.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, Tushi. Go ahead, Tushi.
Do you want to play the trailer in the background if I run it and share the screen?
Yeah, it should work on your connection, definitely.
Yeah, I'm done.
Right, just to let you know, those in the chat on Twitch, if we die, it's Stubbs' fault.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Is there any risk of us dying? What? I didn't agree to that.
Sorry, pal. There is no. Once you're on, that's it. You've signed your life away.
For fuck's sake, when I got the invitation, I never thought I was going to risk my life, you fuckers.
Welcome to Her Talk. Thanks for popping in.
Fuck, hang on.
I'm just imagining. Hey, do you want to be a guest on our podcast? By the way, you might die.
It's part and parcel of the podcast. You know, you just get used to it. Don't worry.
I really I really like what I saw in terms of the Project M. Full disclosure, I spent, you guys know, I spent time all over the place, but I spent time in Seoul as well for MFI. the furniture company. And as soon as I realized it was going to be based in Seoul or it might be Busan, I don't know. If you haven't been to South Korea, it's or Seoul specifically, it's just such a wonderful and unique city. And I know I say that a lot about Japan, but Seoul is as well. And it's I'm just glad we're going to get to see another video game set in a place where, well, perhaps in a decadent culture. As a setting, decadent as in food, right? Not in terms of decay, right? And so on and so forth. And I think, I don't know, was it last week? It was last week, wasn't it?
They did. Someone else showcased off another similar sort of, is it real? Is it not real?
Yeah, no, it wasn't that removable. It was on this show, actually. Remember we were talking about, big companies and consolidation. And I think I said something along the lines of, the next big thing or next interesting game could come from anywhere, right? Not necessarily from Nintendo, Xbox, or Sony. And I think we were talking about Black Myth Wukong, right, from China. And now you've got this trailer, for Project M, via NCSoft, which I think is the publisher. So they're not a small company either, right? So, and look, I've always wondered, right, in my opinion, looking at sort of game devs and creators in South Korea specifically, is that why is it that we've never seen more high-end console game development coming out of that territory? And and I'm not a PC gamer, but obviously historically South Korea has been a pretty dominant PC gaming market, right? It's never been a console market per se. And when I saw the trailer, which you posted, Removable, and everyone just sort of just ignored it. I kind of pushed. This should actually be a topic because it's actually quite important on so many levels that people
I can play the trailer now.
Not considering the fact, right? That it's not just that it's a visual artistic piece. That's not what I'm talking about, right? But
hang on, don't play it yet, Tushi. I'm waiting until DJ's finished.
So for me is that when I initially realized it was a game per se, when I saw the PlayStation prompts coming up on screen, X and R2 and R1, etc., I couldn't help but think of the Yakuza and Judgment games, right? And because
it made me think of that. It did, yeah.
Because if you watch dramas, Korean dramas, right, they're typically divided up into 12 or 15 chapters, which would basically sort of depict those episodes in those games, right? They depict episodes in terms if it was structured for a TV show, obviously, TV, without obviously TV shows don't have free roaming, investigation, discovery, side missions and activities, etc., that you find in a game. And I think, it's a natural call to make that it's being inspired by David Cage and Quantic Dream sort of story-driven action drama like productions. And I'm sure also because I played the Walking Dead games recently as well by Telltale. And I'm sure they've taken inspiration from those as well. Yep. And as as I was talking about the earlier, God of War games, right? The prompts, back from 2005, and even far back as perhaps even Shenmue and Dragon's Lair Coin Op, right? They all had these sort of on-screen prompts, and you always wanted the visuals and the fluidity to go along with them. So I definitely think they'd probably looked at those games in terms of mechanics. And look, if you don't know, South Korea has a huge worldwide fan base for hundreds and hundreds of K-dramas that it exports. I watch them with my wife. I know Boom watches them with his missus. I'm sure, Removable, you've dabbled in it as well.
Oh, I have gone through too many. I think, and to kind of get back to your point, is that I think it's more acceptable now.
Yeah,
hence the reason why we're seeing the South Koreans, because currently right now, for those on Netflix, you will know there's probably a good, in the top 10, I don't know, series, a good percentage of those are South Korean. Yeah. And they are just fantastic.
Yeah, they're incredible. I mean, I live in a predominantly Japanese, Korean, and the Chinese district myself, right? So Removable knows because he knows all the food I eat. So, but the thing is, what it is for me isn't that in the South Korean drama industry or creative drama industry, that film or TV, etc., they have, and if you watch these dramas, the reason why I'm calling upon those, right, is to sort of expressed the fact that they have some of the best writers, composers, production set designers, effects artists, 3D modelers, animators, all that shebang in the world, and they really do create some really captivating, imaginative content, right, for film, right? And so you're sort of thinking, well, how's this transitioning? And the transition seems to be quite natural to me, because typically, you know, the Korean TV dramas, right? They run for between 12 to 18 episodes and they're limited to one single season. A bit like how Sega's Lost Judgment series is the game structure. That's why I love them so much. And for me, I mean, besides hoping that it's going to be a great experience and a really great game when it eventually hits, what I'm kind of more looking at it's more interesting for me that something like Project M, which is already, well, I haven't seen Project Mara. That's the other Project M game, right? Being born out of the UK by Ninja Theory, but also the fact that Unreal Engine 5, right, seems to be effortlessly blurring the lines between film and game visuals and production efforts. And I think that's the key for me, the production efforts, because production for me was a nightmare back in the day. And only on the surface only, right? I'm not an expert, but you know, like there's these seemingly sort of really complex, code-driven, bespoke video game production pipelines that give nothing but trouble and are relying on coders. And now what I kind of think I'm seeing, and I'm not correct because it requires more investigation, but now film and TV pipelines and the talent within those industries and the expertise can just be easily as adapted or adopted, I don't know what the right word is, into video game development. I hope you can
integrated.
Yeah, I hope you're with me here, right? Because if you remember The Last of Us 2, right, is a very good example, as I believe that Naughty Dog did bring in a team of, or a truckload of film animators to raise the qualitative and beatific, I forgot how to pronounce that word, beatific work bar, right? It's for its sort of really technically excellent last act in terms of Last of Us. Right? I mean, I enjoyed the game. It was groundbreaking in many ways. I just didn't like the story, but you probably all heard that millions of times. And lastly, I'll tell you what was really interesting in terms of watching the trailer. It's nice to see, because this is why I didn't even bother with the Matrix demo, right? But this one, and even more so than the Quantic Dream stuff so far, it's nice to see the Uncanny Valley slowly is dissolved and diminished as technology moves ever forward. And I mean, I've got some other bits and pieces to say, but
speaking of it, let's just see it and showcase it off, because then you can tweak and add it towards it.
Yeah, I'm only talking about look and feel here. I haven't played the game, obviously, right? I'm now sound like a PR agent for the company, but you know, I mean, there's loads more I wanted to talk about it, but I'll just stop there for a minute while I drink my tea, so someone else can take over unless you want to carry on.
Let's just try and play that before it's gone. Anyway.
Shall I play the audio, or is it going to strike? Will I get a strike or something? Do you think, or should I just?
I don't think you'll get a strike because it's just a normal trailer on YouTube.
Because it now offers.
Maybe just an image, but without the audio.
It says when I loaded the screen up, it said about adding audio, and when I pressed the add audio, it said that you may hear multiple voices if people are talking or something.
Okay. Because it now offers you the option to mute it my end, so I'll just play the trailer, see what happens.
Just let me know if the sound's working.
Yeah, we can hear it.
만약에 말이야. 만약에 누군가 당신을 죽이고 내가 복수한다고 하면
It's insane.
당신은 뭐라고 할까?
나 죽어야 하는 거야?
아니, 만약에 말이야. 그럼 내가 복수해줄까? 아니, 만약에 말이야. 그럼 내가 복수해줄까?
아니,
아니야?
하지 마. 난 이미 죽었다며. 그럼 차라리 우리 딸을 위해 더 열심히 살아줘. 위험한 데는 근처도 가지 말고. 그래줄 수 있지?
You see from that trailer. Thanks, Mr. Tushi. Sorry.
I tell you, it would have been more. I tell you, it would have been more effective if we had English subtitles on, because you would have known what they were saying.
It has English subtitles.
Yeah, I think that it's Removable was. I might have spoken to you about this before, but do you kind of like get the effect that it's going to have on the games industry in terms of the amount of
there's going to be a blend of integration of talent, so that's what's going to happen across.
But can you imagine the influx of talent that can come into the games industry now and represent itself? I mean, the film and TV industry has always been far more mature than the games industry, but I think something like this kind of piques my interest, because it's something that game development has been looking at for years, and now it's becoming a reality. And I think this is going to create a lot of competition in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think it can only be beneficial for the games industry going forward.
Yeah, I think there is the one thing that slightly worries me with the film industry going to be coming into the gaming industry is that the style could be
I don't mean
adopted. I'd rather it. You know how how films are filmed, how they're stylized. I'd rather they don't go too far down that, because that is films.
No. I don't mean.
But the people dealing with it in the integration of those individuals will now be a much more fluid crossover between both industries. So if you have done maybe screenshots or modeling or animation, or even some just like high-tech visualizations, you will now probably be easy to transfer those talents across to the gaming and vice versa.
I didn't want to create a them and us a narrative Removable. What I think it's more along the lines of what you just explained, thankfully, is the fact that the amount of talent in different areas of game production that will be available outside of the normal talent pool, if that makes sense. I still think that if you're making a game, it needs to be game director led, but in terms of the talent pool that you can access, in terms of the fidelity that you want to achieve, whether it's in assets or animation or motion, etc., I think that being able to access that talent pool and bring it in to enhance what it is that you're producing, if you are producing a game that whether it's The Last of Us Part 3 or whatever, right? Or actually the game that's coming from the David Cage Star Wars Eclipse, which has really piqued my interest, because I've always felt that studio has needed to recruit far more visually creative creative people to their ranks, which I think they've done this time, especially with that trailer that I saw for Star Wars Eclipse. And I'm not a Star Wars fan. So I just think that there's so many connotations and so much benefit for the industry if it's done right, like you say, Removable. Because as you say, in the past, it can and has gone wrong.
Yeah, I don't get you wrong. I think there is. I think with the blending and realism that is now, as you saw from Project M, where you can see a scene from in real life then transported into a game and utilized to benefit the game, that is going to become much more normal. It's just the way the way TVs and film work. They work so well being an hour or 2 hours long. They work so well. Maybe if you're doing a series, they work broken up to a series. The way a game is done, the narrative, the story, that consistent, keeping that push of pressure, it's a different kind of genre in that regards. But as you said, the talent pool, the crossover of those elements will now start to blur and blend together.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's only going to potentially, no worries, it's only going to potentially be better for both industries. So I mean, we can see that now with like stuff like The Quarry, the film led almost captured, stylized games are coming into the industry, and I can see that.
Is there any I could play on these kind of interactive games? Is there any of them on Game Pass? I've never played one of these before. I haven't.
Yes, there is actually. There is
remember.
actually interactive. There is actually some full-on FMV, games, but there's also like the Quarry, which is like
it's coming out Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, that's coming out. I think you're right, Friday. Some of those hit Game Pass as well, but there's also like if you're full on, TV, movie, as in like they've just videoed real life people and put them into a game.
Yeah, and if you're not like if you want to get a sense of what this game may or may not be like, I'll just go and play The Walking Dead because it's a really good, how can I put it, a really good pointer towards what you might see from this game, right? And obviously, if you've got a PlayStation, Mr. Stubbs,
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, play Detroit Become Detroit.
Or Rain.
Or Beyond Two Souls or Heavy Rain. Yeah. But the Heavy Rain doesn't work on the PS4 Pro.
No.
Okay. Warwick, welcome. Thanks for popping in.
And Indie Gamer.
And Indie Gamer, welcome to Indie Gamer. Indie Gamer I was joking, Indie Gamer. I was just saying, have you acquired Luke Steele? Because all your excellent 6 shows you've got scheduled, I believe Luke Steele is assisting you with these showcases. I think it's pretty cool.
He's been bribed with cookies.
Apparently, for a cool $1 million, apparently.
Wow.
V-Bucks, wasn't it? V-Bucks? Cool billion V-Bucks?
But no. Any showcases indie game wise, go to the Indie Games channel. He's got you covered. Sorry, VJ. It's a very. I've really got to try these style of games. They look so cool. They really do.
Yeah, I just think it's just.
For me,
I just think
anyway.
I just thought it was really, really interesting. Otherwise, I think Removal wouldn't have posted it, and I think it might have a really positive bearing on the industry going forward, especially for developers that want to express themselves in in new sort of I don't know if pseudo genres is correct, but slightly obscure genres, and I think Unreal 5 and talent pools that aren't particularly familiar or happy with game production pipelines, which I've seen happen. I think Unreal 5 perhaps maybe allowing for greater people to engage with their technology, if you can call it that, or and streamline the production process, which will only make things easier for everybody going forward, right? And more for us to enjoy. So I just see it as a positive. That's all. As Removal saying, as long as people don't end up raising funds and then throwing cash at it and totally getting it wrong, and then perturbing others from investigating this sort of avenue of creativity. That's my take on it.
Stubbs, I just want to say, with these type of games as well, it's like when you finish like a part of the story, like the first mission, for example, it will show you like a roadmap of the options and choices you made to how the story goes in the future. But also it shows you like who your PlayStation friends, what they chose, a percentage of people what have chosen. Same as like on Walking Dead as well.
Yeah,
it just shows you what path everyone's took, which is quite interesting, really. Because I seem to be taking the one opposite to everybody else.
Why does that not surprise anybody, Mr. Tushi?
Maybe I'm just an arsehole in games.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, was it more vicious role
I'm sure
playing?
that the right word here is maybe. Okay.
No, it's very interesting. I'm gonna have to try some of these out.
Mr. Stubbs, I just wanted to point out something. See, Luke Steele, and I think this speaks to my point. He's saying David Cage's writing is pretty shite, but oddly entertaining. So have a fondness for Quantic Dream games. Yeah, I think to a high degree, he's set a precedent for those types of games, and they do sell well. They're selling the millions, but there's always the games always from a technical and from a creative point of view leave you wanting more. But there is a fan base for that genre, and that's why I say that UE5 and I'm assuming it's UE5. You know, I don't think it's been out long enough for a studio to heavily customize for themselves. But if it lets you create this type of entertainment out of the box going forward, it can only bode well for the industry and for the choices that we have going forward in terms of the games we choose to play, which goes back to one of our initial topics, right, in terms of what it was like in the 80s and 90s in terms of the choices of games that you had, to now you can sort of, you know, flesh out your own sort of roadmap in the terms of the games and the genres you want to enjoy, which is a privilege. So yeah, anyway, that's my layman's take on it.
Most definitely. And RemovableSanity, Telegonic says he can hear you buzzing.
Yeah, it's that helicopter's back again.
Helicopter's back again.
Stubbs, I got an idea.
Yeah.
Do you want me to game share with you so you can play Detroit Become Human?
I've got my son game sharing me. I don't think
okay,
it'll mess it up. It will.
Probably.
Yeah. I would. I'll have a look out for that.
You'll just have to buy a PS5, mate.
No, isn't Detroit Become Human on Xbox?
No.
Oh.
It's
I've got a
PS4. PlayStation.
Is it not on the PS4?
Yeah, it is on the PS4.
It's on PS4, yeah.
I've got a PS4.
Yeah. And you should be able to pick it up cheap, second hand. You know.
Oh yeah, without doubt, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a look. I'll have a look for the disc.
You would enjoy it, Mr. Stubbs.
Yeah, seriously. Remember, it was the.
You may not complete it, but you'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
with Beyond Two Souls as well. That's cheap.
Yeah, but indie gamers saying next to nothing on PC and probably on the PS2 as well. PS4 as well. Sorry,
the PS2. Holy crap!
I don't know why I
paid £15.
I don't know why.
I paid £15 about 3 years ago.
Yeah, it'd be about $5 now.
Oh, I'll have to pick that up. I will definitely will. But yeah, it's been an interesting show tonight, yes. But that was a really good topic. That was quite an interesting conversation.
Thanks for including that topic.
I think that was. I'll be honest. I think like you were DMing me. I think that was you. I think you're right. That was the best topic.
I don't know if it was the best topic. I just when Removable posted it, I watched it, and because of my love of the Orient, which Removable definitely knows, and you know, Mr. Stubbs, and because I visited this city, because I watched the dramas with my wife, and even she's not a gamer by any stretch of the imagination, and even when she saw me watching it on the TV, she was intrigued by it. So there's hope that, you know, she might actually play a game with me sometime in the future, and then, you know, the benefits of Unreal, what that means for the industry, and because I was in the industry, and you sort of consolidate or compound all of those elements together, it just became something I really passionately wanted to talk about. I know that maybe not everybody was that interested, or, you know, probably got bored with me speaking like they probably are now.
It was good.
I just find these sorts of things, you know, or these sort of topics really fascinating, and I don't think anyone else is covering it, which is a real shame.
It's not, no. But Telegonic, no, they were referring to Detroit Becomes Human, not Destroy All Humans.
Yeah. Also, Beyond Two Souls, that's very good. That's also Wilma Hood's favourite game as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good then.
You know what, Mr. Stubbs? I'm not being funny, but I don't know if the rest of the panel, the chat will agree, but I really envy you, because I wish I was you sometimes, you know, and not because you've got a big dangler or anything. The point being is that, you know, if I was you, I'd get to experience a lot of the games that I've already played, you know, from afresh, you know.
I've not completed a lot, basically. That's what you're saying.
No.
No, he's talking about the experiences from afresh. You're going to experience something for the first time where that's where VJ would like to be. He'd like to go back and experience some of the games that he adores from a first time perspective.
I've only got one game. I wish I could go
Mr.
back.
Mr. Tushi will tell you there's always something about your first time, right, Mr. Tushi?
Gears of War. I'd love to go back and replay that for the first time.
Yeah, but without Marcus.
Well, you probably do Gears of War 2.
I did though, but I did.
That's exactly it.
What?
Fabio's been awfully quiet. I think he needs to take up the next
Fabio.
10 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Talk for the next 10 minutes.
Oh my God! What am I supposed to talk right now? Don't give me pressure.
What part of Brazil are you in? Because I lived in Rio de Janeiro for about 8 months, something like that.
So they kicked him out.
No,
VJ, when you lived in Brazil, was the milk cheap?
I mean, was the milk cheap? I had a cow on tap, mate.
Fuck's sake, Stubbs. You're really going to
Sorry, there we go.
fucking asshole. Jesus Christ.
I got it in once. There you go. I didn't matter. You mentioned it once.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I didn't want to be so quiet. It's just because you guys were talking so much stuff and so well, and I was like, okay, I cannot add anything to it because it's all. I agree with everything. Like, god damn it.
Yeah, no, it's been a good show. It has. I think Mr. Tushi's got to shoot off now. So if you want to do your outro first, Mr. Tushi.
I'm no good at outros. Yeah, I've got to shoot. I forgot up early in the morning.
Just do an intro.
Do I need
Yeah, you
to?
just find me anywhere as Mr. Tushi or Mr. Tushi Gaming. That's about it, really.
Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks for having me on again, anyway.
All right, and
I'll see you later.
see you later.
Have a good matey.
Have a great night.
Bye.
And then there was 4.
Dun, 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 dun.
I haven't got no more topics. I think that's about the wrap now. That is. It's been a good show.
Well, you could actually finish it off with a topic for what would you like to see for the Xbox showcase.
Mm-hmm.
You could, yeah. Fabio, what would you like to see for the Xbox showcase? You don't have to mention everything, just your favourite things you'd like to see.
I would say, like, I always love to actually answer that by saying I prefer to say the games that I would love to see, but they will not be there. Like fucking Banjo-Kazooie, maybe. Rise, Son of Rome
That would be
2.
a shocker if Banjo was there. I don't think it's going to be, but that would be a
Of course
shocker.
it's not gonna be. That would be a really shocker. But actually, I just hope we see some gameplay from Avowed. I wish we would see what In Exile Studios is working on, and I would love actually to see what is the other game? Oh yeah, I would love to see more stuff about Everwild. When is it getting released? Is there anything else? How is the gameplay? How is it gonna work? That's the only 3 games that I'm
Fair enough. Yeah.
mostly interested.
No, there's some good picks there. There is. Everwild, I wouldn't really get your hopes up because we're talking about Rare, who made one new IP in 21 years called Sea of Thieves. So I wouldn't get your hopes up on seeing anything. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, it depends. Like, could we consider Kinect Sports as a new IP?
Sorry, Fabio. If you ever wanted to meet Evil Santa, he's up there in the corner calling himself StubzGaming.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Mr. Stubbs. Sorry.
I do hope we see Everwild because I'd love to know what it's about. It would be good to see some surprises and see some updates on it. Because I'll be honest, last time they spoke about Everwild, the team even said they didn't know what it was about. The top person that was in charge of the game actually, I'm pretty sure in the video package, he said they didn't know what it was about yet.
Like, it's funny because, I mean, Sea of Thieves was first revealed in 2015, and it took 3 years of development to be released. And Everwild was announced in 2019, and it's now, and we are getting to the 3 years mark. So what is it? What's going on? Is it gonna take 10 years now? God fucking damn it.
They're just trying to finish off the DLC.
I don't know. Just at least, like, okay, we are working on Everwild, but at least we are going to release something else, like a remaster of Banjo-Kazooie, a remaster of Conquer. I don't know. I'm just putting the ideas that will give you money.
No, they're excellent ideas. They are, and Everwild would be a very good one to put in there. Avowed, yeah. You mentioned some really good ones. I mean, we probably will see all of them, but it's just hard to know what they're going. It depends on whether they want to go the direction of showing games that are coming out in the next year or two, or whether they rather show people a further out roadmap. It depends what route they're going to take this time round, doesn't it? Really,
that's definitely something that the Xbox studios have been having a hard time in dealing with, because you got too many studios, and even though we love the fact that Xbox is now pro devs and they want to give the devs all the time they need to work and all the liberty and stuff and la di da and blah blah blah, like we are dealing with games that were announced 3 years, 4 years ago, and we know nothing. Or like studios that were acquired 4 years ago and we haven't announced what they are working on. You know what I
Fabio,
mean?
I think it speaks to the point we made earlier, right? That what we want to see on Sunday is just progress, right?
Like I can definitely see some progress, because they every time they announce new games, new IPs, and a new studio and stuff like that. But what about the other projects that you already announced? So how are they going? Like
Exactly.
I do understand the progress thing, and I think they have in a certain way showing progress, but in other ways they are not showing, and that's what.
No, I think last year, we saw like Fable, we saw Perfect. I'm not saying that they're ready for this week, or sorry, this weekend. It's just how are those games progressing, right? How are they? Let's take last year's show. They need to improve on last year's outing. And is it my turn yet? Actually, no. Carry on, Fabio. I'll hold back. Sorry.
No, go on. That's it for me. Go on, do your thing, mate.
For me, I just want to see progress from Microsoft, like Fabio was saying, in terms of the games that they've announced and how they're going and so on and so forth, if it's feasible. Because mandating a studio's saying to them, hey, listen, next year we need to have gameplay, that's pretty dangerous, right? To use the word mandate. I would suggest that Microsoft turn around and told its studios, listen, look, if you want to be, we want to represent gameplay for next year, so that's going to be the priority from our studios, and rendered in-game videos or whatever trailers will be, on a case-by-case basis. Because if you mandate a studio, what you're really doing is telling the studio, this is how we need you to lead your production going forward. Which I'm looking at all the studios that they've acquired. They've all maybe using the same engine. Doesn't necessarily mean they're incorporating the same production methods. And creating a trailer halfway through development doesn't require a few people. It requires the whole team, and it may not be conducive to how they actually produce the game. So I see. I know Microsoft haven't come out and said that, but I know there was some media guy or whatever, said the word mandate.
I don't believe that.
It's misleading because it sets an expectation for the public, and then you wonder why there's such a backlash after such an event when you don't see what you expected to see, because the person, whoever you're following, hasn't added any context or hasn't any development experience and making sweeping statements when it's got no business in doing so. So for me, it's a case of, look, Microsoft, we'd love to see gameplay, but even if it's more rendered trailers, that's fine as well. Just get the balance right. And for me, it was like last year. Look, we know we don't have Starfield. They definitely knew 9 months ago. And I think Final Fantasy 16, if you watch the PlayStation State of Play, clearly tells you that companies know 12 to 15 months out, when the game's going to hit. It's just the way big budget development works. But for me, I'm kind of looking at Game Pass again. I know there's a lot of content in there, but there hasn't been anything that's pulled me in. I've ended up buying, several, brand new games, or games that I'd missed from the previous year to play now. And if there's one or two games I'd love to see in Game Pass, I think one of them would have to be Persona 5 Royale. I'd really appreciate that game, but I do hope that there's other, great games that have been available on other systems that perhaps aren't, no longer under, exclusive terms. There may be, I don't know, but it's just a case of it's a wish list basically. And if not, and that's why I ended up buying a PS5, because I just don't know when I'll get to play those games if I don't play them now, so to speak. So I think I'm losing my train of thought now.
Yeah, it's definitely got some good thoughts though. I do know that apparently Atlas had sent out, Carlo said from 4GQTV, he said that a few people he spoke to said that Atlas actually sent out a survey asking customers if they'd like to see Persona on Xbox.
Yep, they did, and I made sure I entered it.
Oh, you received his email, did you? Okay.
I'd love to see.
No. It was. I think it was. It was an email, but they post it on social media where you could.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Oh,
yes,
cool.
you could also add to the survey, and they said
it's interesting that then. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I just to wrap up, because then Removable can have his turn, and then you, Mr. Stubbs. Is that Persona 5 and I'm not the biggest fan of Bethesda, but Starfield, has intrigued me for a considerable amount of time. So if they do have something more to show than what they showed previously, that would be really appreciated. And but I can't make that judgment call. Phil's got to make it, and hopefully that they've learned that two things is that look, they went through the whole delay of Halo, and it's business 101 to have a backup plan and a contingency, and they've been through it once, so they must have something planned for this Christmas. And then with my business hat on, I'm thinking, well, it doesn't matter whether they do or don't, because Sony didn't have anything for the last quarter last year, and they still sold out of all of their systems. So perhaps they're going to keep their powder dry and release trailers and content as and when they see fit, rather than a knee-jerk reaction because the public say so, and go and get a big title and throw it into Game Pass. So it'll be interesting to see how they play their cards this weekend, and I'm quite looking forward to it now. Talking about it.
Good to hear.
I would have been here sooner, but I'm waiting for VJ to shut up. No, I'm kidding.
Evil Santa's arrived.
That's right.
So we're just rounding the show at Cerebral with what would you just quick thoughts on what you would love to see at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase?
Okay, anybody who knows me knows how I'm going to answer this. I don't care. No. Look, I don't have any. I never go in with any grand expectations. Things I'd like to see. I'd like to see more on the new Star Trek game coming out at the end of the year. Find out if it is actually coming out at the end of the year. I'd like to see more on some of these Star Wars titles that I know they've been working on. I would like to I would like to see more of Starfield. I mean, if they've delayed it, that's fine. I can accept that. I would love to see some actual gameplay, some actual action. To show us what it really is all going to be all about. Keep the hype going, type of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that, I'm pretty wide open. I know Wolf Among Us 2 is going to be coming out early next year, and I think I heard VJ talk about one thing that I've been saying that a lot of people don't agree with me. They need to do, to me, they should do like they did last year. They should do. Okay, we're only going to tell you about what's coming out this year and all through the end of next year, 18 months. That way, you're not looking so far ahead that it's it's way out in the future.
And what's imminently arriving in Game Pass? They did that last year as well.
Correct. Yeah. And of course, I think we're going to have a few. We're going to have a few available now on Game Pass or whatever.
Absolutely.
Either Sunday or Tuesday, because Tuesday is usually Game Pass drop day anyway. Because they are doing the second show next week.
Paul, just a quick one. You said that available now. I mean, I mentioned Persona 5. Is there anything that you would like to see, imminently drop? I know it can be out there. It's just a bit of fun, really.
I would like to see the Forza Horizon add-on drop that day. I think we're due.
Very conservative, Paul. Very conservative.
I tend to be conservative. I'm not a big, let's see what else. I don't know what else I'd like to see drop that day.
Maybe Tushi's Pants.
I'd like to see. It'd be really cool if something like Scorn would drop that day, because that's already late.
Yep.
And we really haven't heard much about Scorn. We know it's still coming, but we haven't heard any updates on it lately.
The social media account does drop. They are very interactive and very sociable on Twitter.
Right.
Which is, they are very, if you kind of say something about, I like this game, they will respond. They are very active on there. But you're right, they don't showcase too much. I think they showcased off something about 2 days ago, and it said, you can make mistakes, and they showcased, I don't know, like a 30-second bit of something. But you're right, there isn't no big things that's been shown.
The fact that they're doing that actively on that account right before the show could mean we're going to hear something about that on the show during the show.
Very well could be, yeah.
Because they haven't openly, had a big press release or drop. If they're just dropping little things on the social media account this close to the show, then maybe something's coming up in the show, which would be sweet. They need something, because even
if it's a demo,
because we all know that I didn't have the harsh reaction that a lot of people had regarding the Starfield being delayed in the other game as well. I'm like, so it probably just means a better game. And it also means to me, the only thing I actually kind of fear is everything getting pushed into 2023. 2023's release calendar is going to get really crowded to the point to where they may have to push some stuff off, delay releases into 2024 just because of the timing. Not because it's not ready, but because, well, we really got nowhere we can put this without hurting some of our other properties. So, because I'm not so much a first party person, third party, I don't care. I play it all. It's already bad enough that we're getting games fast enough that I don't have time to play all the games I have.
Yeah.
I start.
What a harsh life we live in.
I start one game and then next week something else drops that I want to play too.
Tushi fans.
Yeah. So that it's all going to be interesting to see how they handle all this. Given that they've stretched it into 2 separate days and we're probably going to see some repeats on Tuesday, some expanded information, because that's kind of what they said. It's going to be some new stuff, but also expanding on what we saw on Sunday. So, and they're both going to be about 90 minutes from what I understand. So I'm just looking forward to really enjoying the show and can't wait to see what they have to show us.
Some good picks there. Cerebral Paul, definitely some good choices there. It'll be fun to see what actually happens. It will. On the day, it will.
What's good for this show next week is you're actually going to be after the Tuesday show, so you're going to have both days to talk about.
Oh yeah, we are. Yeah.
You just don't knock on you. Wednesday comes after Tuesday. Yeah, that's how that works.
Well, you laughed though, right? My missus laughed at me this morning because you ever heard this thing about when someone puts a bin out, you copy? Well, my neighbours across the road put their bins out on Tuesday night.
Oh yeah.
Monday night. Yeah, and they don't do this often, right? What day is it today? It's Tuesday.
Wednesday.
So it's Wednesday, right? My bins ain't empty till Thursday. So
Wow.
I put my bins out Tuesday night, thinking because the Muppets across the road put their bins out, right? They never do this, so I put my bins out. Then my sister-in-law said your bins don't get empty till Thursday, but turns out a load of other neighbours copied. All put their bins out.
That's how it always happens. It always.
I pulled my bins back in though. I did.
It's the same thing with Cerebral Paul's Twitter account. One person starts following, the next thing you know, there's a whole load of people bloody start following.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I've crossed over 920 followers, I think, and most of that comes over the last few months. So I'm about to break
gaming.
But you don't answer your bloody DMs, do you?
StubzGaming.
Which one? What did I? What have I not answered?
Look at one from me.
Oh, you asked me something about accessibility, and I meant to get back to that. Fabio's alive now. There he is. I was wondering.
So sorry about that, guys.
What's up, VJ?
I was just going to say the Indie Gamer commented that your gaming skills belong in the bin. I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Are we seriously hearing about bins?
But BJ, if his gaming skills were in the bin, they'd only be half in, unfinished. So.
Yeah, there would be.
Okay.
Gaming roles, Indy.
All has a point.
It's random, and I make it that way. but Removable. I know you'll be looking for indie games.
I am, yeah. Well, of course, I'm going to be. Obviously, it's one of my passions on there, and obviously, indie games on Xbox is very high up in that regards. So clearly, I'll be looking forward to showcasing what they're going to be showing off there if they are. But as well as that, I'll be looking towards the AAAs as well. I'm not just going to be.
I can guarantee you they'll probably touch an ID at Xbox.
I would like to. Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to be quite intrigued to see what's going out. A bit like yourself, Cerebral. I would like to see a little bit more from Scorn. That does intrigue me a lot. And seeing it active on social media, I hope that you're right. I said, even if it's a demo, I'd be happy. That's one thing I'd like to see. Actually, some demos just be announced at the showcase. Here you go. Have a demo. It's coming later on.
Here's the Xbox doesn't do a lot of demos. EA does. EA gives you the time demos.
They do.
But Xbox itself doesn't tend to do the demo thing.
That's why I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them push demos. Demos themselves because you could also now wish list games on Xbox.
Right.
So I don't see what the downside is.
Game Pass demos.
Well, they have got demos on Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, no, but usually those demos are through EA. They're not actually
Yeah, they are.
Xbox.
Yeah,
There's some indie game demos are on there because I've played a couple of them.
And there's some third-party demos.
Maybe, yeah.
Third-party demos on there, yeah.
I think you're right. There is EA stuff there, but I'd like to see some first-party demos on there. Just do you know what? I think that would be good if they say we've got loads of games coming up, but they're being delayed. Throw a demo. That would sate quite a few people. I'd say, even if it's just it's an early tech demo, don't take it too seriously, but have a little go.
That always works out. That always works out well.
I'll tell you what I would like an early tech demo of is to be able to roam around that apartment in Project Mara.
Oh, that'd be fun, yeah. I forgot all about Project Mara, but yeah, I've been looking forward to that one too.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of that. I'm really intrigued to see more of that. Just like we discussed Project M today. Yeah, fantastic.
But that's it for me. Yeah, I'd like to see them push a little bit more into the demo side of things, as well as in.
Sorry, I was just going on Project M. I hope that they do keep the Korean language option when they release that game finally for the Western audience.
I would think they would be. Yes, it would be. I think that if I'm correctly, they do keep.
There'll be uproar on Midweek Gaming. Otherwise, I can tell you that for nothing.
Those who like to hear the original voice actors and have subtitles.
Yeah.
I like that in some of my movies too, like if you've ever watched the movie Downfall about the last month or so in the bunker with Hitler. I've only ever watched the original version with the German language and the English subtitles. I refuse to watch the English dub version because there's something that draws me out of it if they're not speaking their native language. You know,
yeah,
and it's the same with some games as well. Same. You know,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, there are movies that did the screwy thing, like Hunt for Red October, where the guy was speaking Russian with a Scottish accent. But you know,
Niet, comrade.
Come on, mate. Sean Connery was the Don. Come on. Stubbs, what do you want to see? Because I got to go soon. I really want to know what you want to see, Stubbs. Then please don't mention Gears.
Gear 6.
Oh God, that's the end of the show. That's his outro.
Gear 6, 7, and 8. There we go.
Gear 6. Gear 6. Tactics.
Oh, ouch! Ow.
Yeah, Gear 6 Judgment Tactics. And that's it.
Yeah, Don the early years. Yeah.
Did you just say?
No, I don't want to spoil it for you, Stubbs, man. But apparently Nintendo have licensed Marcus Phoenix to feature in Splatoon 3.
Yeah, I'd like to see Gears. Anything Gears related. I would love the Coalition to prove the stupid rumours wrong, that they're not working on new IP at all. That would be good. I always like it when rumours I don't agree with don't come to be true. Anything Gears, basically. Even if it is tactics. I don't like the game, but I don't like RTSs though, too slow.
I like the game, and there's just one part I'm really seriously stuck on. It's
going to be Gears Pop 2.
I like Gears Pop though. That's the thing. I played it.
No, I did as well. I'm just sad that they didn't make any success. And they didn't decide
it weren't making Microsoft enough money. That's probably what you find. That's why.
Hey, Indie Gamer, I am so looking forward to Plague's Tale Requiem in a couple of weeks. I will be playing that.
Yes, that was a sleeper hit for me.
None of you have mentioned it, but I'm looking forward to more information on Somerville. I'd like to hear more on. This might not even be at the show, but I would love to see more on Playdad's new game. Anything probably won't be there though, but.
No, it's all good fun, Mr. Stubbs. So just tell us anything that that's on your wish list. Go ahead.
There's not much more. I just want to see new games. Some
I'm
surprises.
Seeing Marcus.
Okay, short list.
Sorry, go ahead, Fabio.
No, I was about just to say short list. That's it.
It is a short list. Any new games?
That's all he's really got time for, Fabio. Over the next 16 years.
I'll just make Paul really happy now. I don't want to see Starfield.
Okay, I'm leaving the panel. I'd like to thank everybody.
I'm joking.
Apparently, there's a Planet Pineapple you can visit in Starfield.
Oh,
I knew that was coming.
It's going to be
Oh,
Gear
man.
6
Hey,
Tactics
VJ,
Judgment
next year,
Tonight.
if I come out for E3 in LA, VJ, I'm coming after you. Okay, I'm just,
With a slice of pineapple
well,
pizza. Watch out.
E3 is just well, I think the venue's about half an hour from where I live, so it's not that far. So I'll make myself a big target.
VJ will pull up in his limousine.
He's right.
Yeah, more like my tricycle, or battery
Jesus.
operated.
But anyway, yeah, my list is very short. It's haven't really got one. I just hopefully it's a great show, and they show us something.
Stubbs, you are
surprises
definitely
me.
looking forward to Marcus Phoenix being in Splatoon 3, right? Or is it Splatoon 4, right? Nintendo definitely licensed him, as far as I can tell.
Smash Bros, mate. Smash Bros.
Actually, a Smash Bros version on Xbox with every single character would be amazing.
No, we do not want that.
Yep.
No, we don't. We don't want that.
We
I don't
do
want
We
it.
don't. Well, I would love to see the crossover fighting game for all of
I
Xboxes.
just- Yeah, we had
the fighting game might be no good.
we had something. We had something there called Killer Instinct. The last
Yeah,
one
but
we
that only had a couple of things. I want a
Yeah,
full-on,
but
proper, you know.
it's the beginning. You want to see,
wouldn't,
the car from Forza Horizon fighting.
I don't know. Would Master Chief make a good candidate for Smash Bros? I think he would, right?
I think so.
Everyone was talking about that before.
General Ram was in Killer Instinct.
Hmm.
He was. But
And
yeah,
also the
I just think
frogs. I can't think of
I
frogs.
just think Gear 6 should replace Marcus Phoenix with RoboCop.
problem is though, that's why they're bringing that's why they've put Kate Diaz into it so much, because Marcus Phoenix can't go on forever. He's an old dude in that game. They've got to move to
How
the
dare
future.
you?
How dare you? But anyway, it's been a great show. It has. Thanks for coming on, Fabio.
Thanks
I
so much
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Can you tell people where they can find you?
Well, you can now find me on Twitter as @FBOAmorin97. You can find me on Xbox as BuffOnLizard8, and you can find me on the XBL Party Podcast channel, which is the podcast that I'm part of.
Thanks for coming on, Fabio. It's been fun. It has. And thank you, Cerebral Paul. It's been an excellent show.
Yeah, it seems like time just flew by. Yeah.
It's almost like you weren't here, and then all of a sudden you appeared. It's just like amazing.
Probably much quieter than usual. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
He's shy. He's just shy.
Yeah. That's it. That's what I've always been called.
He was waiting,
Shy.
he was waiting that whole time. I just let him in at the end.
No, my internet calmed down and all that, so thought I'd jump in while I could. Nope.
No,
you can
good
find me,
stuff.
of course, at Twitter at Xbox, Twitter at CerebralFall1, Twitch and YouTube at Cerebral Fall. My first link on my Twitter actually shows a link to all of my links to all the shows and everything that I'm on all week, as well as my personal channels. Of course, Monday I'm Xbox Ambassador channel. I do gaming differently with Cerebral Fall, where I just play games for a couple hours. But if something comes up that my disability affects my playing or anything like that, we discuss it. We talk about it a little bit, and you just hang out with me. That's about it. Of course, I don't know. Actually, since I wasn't here last week, I will say, I was at Orlando MegaCon. Did a lot of work for 4GQ TV. Some of those interviews will be happening soon, and stuff like that. I didn't get to go to Canada, which is where I was supposed to be last week, but things happen. They changed the rules on me at the border. I think it was just because of me, but I'm not taking that personal, right?
He says through gritty teeth.
That's right. I'm writing a personal little hate letter to Trudeau. I mean, no. So I didn't get to do that, but that's all right. Other opportunities will come up, and of course, I'm looking forward to the show next week and all the Xbox stuff coming up, and of course tomorrow, Summer Games Fest. So really looking forward to what's coming up there. See what we're going to see there. So see you all around the internets.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Oh yes.
Exciting times ahead. VJ, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, sorry for talking so much today. I don't know what happened.
It's been a fun show today.
Hey?
It's been a fun show today.
No, I think I always end up feeling guilty at the end of the show because I think I've taken up more airtime than I than I should have done. And
it's fine, VJ. I just give you crap because it's fun, and you always try to get me like pineapple pizza.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't have any issues. Actually, you still owe me a round of golf on PGA.
This is true. Yes, yeah.
And I used to play PGA golf on the Mega Drive, and it's such a relaxing time sometimes, and I do miss it. And I kind of maybe reminiscing, and hopefully I'll give you a decent game. And
it's actually one of the games I play when I just want to chill because there's no, you can take your time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I hesitate to message you in case you're at the border, at Canadian border. But
you can message me anytime.
But
like with animated, I will ignore you profusely. No,
it's true.
It's like,
yeah, this is true. I'll try and get hold of you through my PlayStation app. Stubbs, I might have more luck. But Stubbs, thanks for having me on the show. It was really fantastic to have Fabio on. I don't think I've been on a show with you before, and it'd be nice to have you on again. I did miss Misuko not being in the chat today, and thanks to Removal for putting Project M in my site. So I really appreciated it. Just got my
and thanks for reprompting me.
Yeah, it's just got my mind. It's just got my. It's been a bit of a slow week for me, and I had lots of other stuff to do. But it kind of shifted all the cobwebs in my brain somehow. So I really appreciate that, Removable. And Mr. Tushi, I know he's gone now, and I'll look forward to being back on next week if you need me. Thank you.
Thanks, VJ, and RemovableSanity. Thanks.
Hello. Yes. No. Thank you very much for having on. It's great to have Fabio on. As I said, we will try and get him back on a little bit, sooner rather than later. We'll just keep prompting Stubbs, pushing little prompts left, right, and centre. Obviously, it's great to have all my panelists on here. It's great to have Cerebral on. I know, obviously, you had your bit of internet issues, but it's great to have you back on, even if it is the last 20 minutes. We don't care what anyone says. We still want you on here, regardless. And yeah, if you're looking for myself, you want to be bored by what I have to say, you can find me on Minds, YouTube, Xbox, and Twitter under the name RemovableSanity. And if you're into Xbox indie games, you can also find stuff I review on there. I have over 100 indie games for the Xbox platform on there.
And Stubbs has completed every single one of them.
He has. Yep. That's why he's up to almost like 10,000 G now on Xbox.
Hey, I don't know what I am.
All paid for. All bought and paid for.
I don't know what I am actually. To be fair, I haven't got a clue. I'm not. I can't be higher than that.
I've got him tweaked. He's looking now.
Let's stick it in as a topic for next week, Stubbs.
Yeah.
Your gamer score.
I don't even know how you.
I know Paul will have fun with that.
And next week's topic is going to be what games has Stubbs not finished this week.
I have 27,000. I have 27,667 game score.
Wow.
See, told you.
Yeah.
I think
I've got more than that, and I've only been in the ecosystem 18 months.
You haven't got more than
Actually,
that.
next week's games are going to be what games were shown at the showcase that Stubbs will say he wants to play but never play.
And what games will Stubbs say that release date ain't going to happen?
Yeah. You're going to say that for all of them. Hopefully, they're not going to give too many exact dates.
No, hopefully. But yeah. I'll be doing a show this Sunday, a reaction show after. Cerebral, you're welcome to pop in if you're not busy on another show.
I'm going to be, during the show, I'm going to be with Dragon's Den. But after that, I might pop in.
I'm going to do one for Roundtable Gaming. It'll be at 4 p.m. EST. So if you're free, feel free to drop in. Just grab everyone's thoughts on the show, what games they liked, stuff like that. I can't really call midweek gaming show because it's on a Sunday. It doesn't make sense. So I'm using the Roundtable Gaming
midweekend show.
Yeah,
that's actually
no. Sunday's the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, you see, some people would say it's the ending. So
it's a mid-afternoon LA show.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and thanks Leo for popping in. Indie Gamer, it's Timmy, Darren, Pudsey, loads of people been in chat. Hertog, what was Mav been in? I must have missed that one then.
I think
Yeah.
Muppet was here till you started talking crap about his trash bins.
Muppet as well, apparently. I don't know.
I think
I'm
Phil
lost.
Spencer was
Luke
Phil
Steele.
Spencer was in earlier as well, Stubbs.
But there's been loads in chat. But yeah, thanks everyone. And if you're listening on podcast platforms, please follow on relevant platforms. Drop a 5-star review. It really helped the podcast downloads. And drop a like. And also, please leave a comment in the comment section.
Comment section.
And subscribe.
Leave a comment in the
Yeah, if you're leaving a comment in the description, you're hacking to Stubbsy's account. Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not your property. So.
Probably someone might make it a goal now. I'll have to beef up the security on it again. But anyway, thanks everyone for stopping by. It's been fun, and we will see you back on Midweek Gaming next week. Thanks all. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.